Morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Recipe Redemption. I'm getting kind of a slow start today. I like my coffee. I probably drink, on average, 3, sometimes 4 cups a day. I just enjoy it. I feel like I need the pick-me-up. Sometimes I'm really jonesing for the Java. And I don't think that it has had any effect on my sleep. I typically don't drink any coffee after about, I don't know, 2 in the afternoon. But there have been times where I've had coffee after dinner, out at a restaurant or something. And as far as I've noticed, I haven't had any sort of effect on my sleep or anything like that. I am definitely an addict. If I don't have at least some coffee every day, I do get headaches. I get withdrawal symptoms. So I do actually need a little, at least some coffee every day at this point. It is a biological necessity, but some would argue that my 3 to 4 cups of coffee and therefore 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine every day is excessive. And for those of you who perhaps are in the same boat or just want to reduce your caffeine intake, there are plenty of options. One is just weaning yourself off of coffee altogether and just going completely caffeine free. One is, if you enjoy the experience of drinking coffee, you could go for decaf, which is objectively not as good. There's, in the process of removing most but not all of the caffeine, there are certain nuances to the coffee that also get removed. It's just not as good. You could become a tea drinker or something like that. Or you could go the route of this. I'm showing you the back of the boxes. That helps a lot. Here we go. Four Sigmatic. This is a mushroom coffee mix. So looking at the back, this actually does have coffee in it, in instant coffee. It's just half as much as you would get in a normal cup of coffee. So instead of 100 milligrams of caffeine, you're getting 50. But in addition to that, you're getting dried mushrooms. Now, why the hell would you want that? Because they're specifically mushroom varieties that have been touted for their medicinal purposes. And so, Four Sigmatic, they have several different varieties based on what you want them to do. Now, this is what they call Think, which has, let's see, this is the one that has lion's mane mushroom in it. Yes, lion's mane mushroom, and let's see if I can find that. Oh, here we go. Organic chaga extract, Rhodiola rosea extract, so yeah. But lion's mane mushrooms, wild crafted. Interesting. But supposedly, and this is one of those things that the FDA has neither confirmed nor denied that this actually has any effect on your mental clarity. But supposedly, the lion's mane has that effect. It makes you sharper, makes you think clearer, makes you think faster, which in some ways is what people think caffeine does. So it replaces the effect of that missing 50 milligrams of caffeine. The other one that I got in this particular package is the Defend, which supposedly supports overall well-being, your immune system, etc., etc., which uses chaga mushrooms. Chaga? Yeah. Eleuthera extract. Yeah. And organic cordyceps. Yep. So, dried mushrooms that are blended into a powder, mixed in with instant coffee, and supposedly has these health effects to them with less caffeine. So you can still enjoy the experience of drinking coffee without the caffeine side effects, but all of the health, in fact, additional health benefits. But the really important question is, how does it taste? Well, I'm here to tell you I forgot a spoon. Be right back. I went to college. Anyway, so this is the Think Lion's Mane coffee mix. Smells coffee-ish, coffee adjacent. Which is not surprising since it does actually have coffee in it. Now, the first thing that you notice right away is that it is not entirely coffee. It's got half the coffee, so it has half the coffee flavor. I don't think that the dried mushrooms taste anything like coffee. So right off the bat, it tastes like watery coffee. And then the flavor sort of develops. There's a very distinct green sort of vegetal aspect to this. Just full disclosure, we actually tried these yesterday. Chris did not like this at all. She said it tasted like wood, like sawdust. She even specifically said mahogany sawdust. I don't know how much sawdust she sampled to really be able to tell that, but she thinks mahogany sawdust with a little bit of wet cardboard in there. Hush. I'm not getting that. There is sort of a woodiness to it, but mostly it's just kind of a weak coffee with a sort of not really herbal, but I would say vegetal kind of note tinge to it. And right at the very end, you get a little bit of a kind of a mushroomy, sort of earthy flavor. It's not bad, and particularly if you're the type of person who puts all sorts of stuff in your coffee, creamers, flavorings, sugar, I'm sure that this would be a lot less noticeable. But it doesn't have the flavor kick that a full force cup of coffee would have. Now, that being said, the bitterness of the coffee is somewhat muted as well. So, if you're not the type of person who drinks black coffee, a normal cup of coffee does have that bitter bite to it. That this is, it's not missing, but it's definitely very muted. Now, let's talk about the effect. No, obviously it's not going to be instantaneous, but did I actually really notice a clarity of thought after drinking this? I didn't. I cannot discount the possibility that's just because there's nothing to clarify up here. I cannot completely discount the fact that there is no effect because there is no brain to affect. Individual results may vary, but is it any better or worse than any other coffee alternative I've tried? No. It's different. It's not horrible, but it's definitely something to think about whether or not you want to make the transition to this versus decaf or becoming a tea drinker or whatever, or just drinking less coffee but still having some every day. I'm not 100% sure that this is a substitution, but it's worth seeing what the different flavors like. So next I'm going to try the Defend. I'll be right back. Fresh cup of hot water. Time to try Defend. Coffee with chaga and cordyceps mushrooms. Whoop. Splish. Again, it smells like coffee. It's interesting. So again, half the coffee flavor. Still has that watery coffee flavor to it. Everything else is more neutral, really. I mean, you really do only kind of taste the coffee. It seems to have kind of a thicker, richer mouth feel to it. It almost seems kind of unctuous for some reason. But there's not really a whole lot of even mushroom flavor to this, so it really does taste more like just coffee, but weak coffee. So I would still probably add, cream and sugar to this if I were to drink this on a regular basis. Yeah, it's interesting because it does sort of feel like it kind of coats the mouth, which is, I guess pleasant in a way. I mean, it feels richer. Now, when talking about whether or not something is worth it, again, it comes down to whether or not it's worth it to you to drink this stuff. Do you get the health benefits from it? Do you like it? Do you actually enjoy the product enough that the lighter coffee flavor isn't a negative for you? Something where you can cut down on the caffeine and still get all the flavor? Nah. So this little sampler packet, and mind you, the pictures of it online, the boxes look that big, and so you think, oh, I'm getting a lot, and you are getting these two little boxes. Now these each have 10 sachets, so 10 cups of coffee per. So 20 cups of coffee for $24. Plus tax, and if you don't order like Prime or something like that, you might have to pay shipping depending on where you buy them from. Maybe if you can find them in a store, they're cheaper. I didn't. I was lazy and I ordered them online. Typically, I will buy a pound of ground coffee. I know, heresy, but I buy it ground because I don't have the mental fortitude to actually grind enough of my own in the morning. I want to be able to just sort of dump some in. So, whatever. Pound of ground coffee, about $7, $8. I usually like to wait until they're on sale and then buy 2 or 3 at a time. So sometimes I get them as low as like I think sometimes they're like $5 a pound. But let's just say like $7 a pound. 1 pound bag of ground coffee, I can usually get about 4 pots, and that's about 5-ish of these mugs of coffee. So that pretty much compares, about 20 mugs of coffee for about $7 instead of 24. So this is 3 times as much. So it comes down to whether or not it's worth it to you to drink less actual coffee, and getting the supposed health benefits from the dried mushrooms that are added to this. That's a decision only you can really make. Myself, I've tried several coffee substitutes at this point. There was the one with carob bean and chicory and other stuff. Yeah, I'm still addicted to the regular coffee. This is okay. It's not bad, but I don't know if I want to pay 3 times as much for it's not bad. I would rather, just from the standpoint of life being short and I want the good stuff, I would rather pay more for really good coffee than paying more for instant coffee plus mushrooms. I will have regular coffee and then I will eat some mushrooms, of the normal edible kind. We don't do tripping balls in this household. That's just my personal preference. Yeah. I can't. I don't. I'll finish these boxes. I will, but I don't think I'm going to make a steady diet of this stuff, and I will be consuming these alone because Chris, I don't think she even wants to try the other flavor, and I honestly can't blame her. It's not the greatest thing in the world, and she's kind of a super taster, so I'm sure she picked up on some more unpleasant nuances than I am. So that's my review, I guess. Obviously, this is not a sponsored video. I paid for these with my own money, and they're never going to give me any money ever. This is just something I'm trying, and this is my opinion. So, what do you think? Have you tried these? Do you like them better than regular coffee? Have you actually experienced the health benefits from trying these? I personally have not noticed a change in my mental clarity. Since I'm not sick, it's kind of hard to say whether or not this has helped my immune system any because I don't have a cold. And it's hard to say that I didn't get a cold because of this or because I just, we're still wearing masks and staying away from people, so it's going to be hard for me to get a cold anyway. I don't know. What do you think? Leave a comment down below and just let me know what you think about this or any other coffee substitute that's on the market. Let's discuss. Until next time, I'm Mike Uyak. Thank you for watching. I'm going to finish my sort of coffee. And I'll see you next time here on Recipe Redemption. Bye now.